Lovely. And will to Ray.
Shot.
For episode 48 of the Barrel Pod. With your bows, with the mows.
Bows, let's go, bows.
Myself, Owen, and
Me, Mark.
me, Mark. How are we this week?
All good, man. All good.
All good.
Honestly, a bit hot. Bit warm.
Bit hot.
Honestly, it's a bit warm.
Hot take.
Hot take. Freezing cold take at this stage. It's hot as fuck. Way too hot, to be honest.
Honestly,
You know?
I'm just uncomfortable the entire time of my existence at the moment.
We were not built.
Every waking moment is pain.
Yeah, literally walking around. I got sunburn on my feet at the weekend, and literally every step I take is agony.
Man, I would say that's probably the worst place to get burnt. Although,
Mm.
like, getting burnt on your back and trying to sleep, it's the worst.
Yeah, and like you get the shivers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's horrible when you get the burn.
Back burn is the worst, I think.
Back burn, yeah. But
But
I wasn't expecting it. I had sun cream on and stuff, but I didn't. You never expect the feet, you know. But because they're just
feet and ears, bro. They're the most important parts.
the feet and ears.
Yeah, let me tell you, people forget about them all the time.
People always forget about the ears, but like I wasn't expecting it to because they're just hanging there. I was just chilling out in the grass, and then all of a sudden, didn't even feel it for ages. Like, we went there that night, everything was fine. But then we got home. I looked. I took off my shoes. My feet were like clubs.
Yeah.
They're like.
They swell up.
They're like sandwiches. It was fucked up. I was afraid. Like I was like, I might have to go to the hospital. But it's not that bad. But like we are genetically not built to survive above 25 degrees.
Mark, we are the two whitest guys that have ever existed. We are not.
White.
Oh, we are white as fuck.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Jesus.
Pure 99s out here.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like, you know the way like we like, and you have to go into work.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. In an office or like you're sitting here and stuff. Like if anytime I was thinking, for every degree it rises above say 18 degrees, you should be paid a premium of 25% on top of your wages for every degree, like a compound interest. Everyone would be in favor of that because wages would only go up, like kind of like inflation kind of setup as the globe warms.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that like incentivize people to sort of dump carbon into the atmosphere, but I think everyone in this country will be on board because it's just chaos.
Fuck yeah, man. This is
Chaos out there. You know, beaches are swamped. You know,
everywhere swamped.
Everyone's red. You walk around, everyone's red in the face, like beetroot red. Doesn't happen in any other country except like England and stuff. It's embarrassing.
No, we are not able for this. It's too warm. Way too fucking warm. It's a shame. Could just gone to the dogs.
This country's fucked. Government doing nothing about it. That's the thing. You know, they can control the weather, but they don't. They choose. You know, they can. NASA can.
Did you see in the Midlands though? It's gonna be like 30 or not, it was 30 degrees.
Yeah, I saw a weather warning for Cavan.
Fuck that.
30 degrees. That must be a record.
Man, it was hitting like 24, 25. Like it's 21 degrees at the moment. Like
yeah. Oh, it was 20.
It's half 8. Like
yeah. It was 27 at one point at the weekend. You know, just way too. It's just too humid. It'd be fine if it was like dry, but it's not, and there's never any wind either.
No.
It's like, you know the way like ever wake up and like you open your window, it's a hot day, and you let that happen all the time in Vancouver.
That must.
It's like you let the must out, but you also like you allow room for a pleasant breeze to blow in, and like you're shirtless, and you just feel it on your back, and it's the most like sublime feeling in the world. Because you're warm, but you're also refreshed.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen here.
No.
It doesn't happen. You open the window and it's just nothing happens. It's like I saw one of the memes on the Simpsons fan page or whatever. I was like, you know that scene from The Simpsons where it's like Rainier Wolfcastle, he's playing the character, he has the goggles.
No.
And it's just like he's swamped by like radioactive waste. And they hand him the goggles to protect his eyes. Yeah. It's the goggles, they do nothing. Here's open the windows. It's the window, it does nothing. It does nothing.
No man, it's pain. It's just fucking pain. Especially like working in your room as I do. Man, I'm going crazy.
It's pain.
It's like The Shining. Oh, it's just too fucking warm, and like I go downstairs and like I can't even have a cup of coffee. Like I don't like having cold coffee. I like my coffee hot. Can't even have coffee because I come back upstairs, start drinking it, sweating. Instantly sweating
from the coffee.
Yeah. Go downstairs, have a bit of food, come back up, sweating from the food and the walking up the stairs.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the stairs. Yeah, yeah. I'm on the top floor in the office.
Fuck.
The top floor. It's 4 flights of
Any
stairs.
lifts?
There's lifts, but it only fits one person at a time. It's like it's the scourge, you know. It's for emergencies or not emergencies, but like, you know, people who can't take the stairs for lazy people, you know. You're supposed to do better than that. I'm just like there, like every single day I get up. Like today, I was wearing this today. I probably should have changed, but I was like drenched. I got in. I was like, I had stains on the fucking. I was like, this is just untenable. I didn't even bring a shirt to like hide it. I was just like that walking in, you know. Hands in the armpits.
She was like me on Saturday with my cap.
The cap, yeah.
The cap is key, man.
The cap is key, yeah. Hide it all. But it makes it worse at the same time.
Yeah, but then eventually it just levels out.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell
Yeah,
you.
grim.
Too warm.
Fuck that.
I need water. I need lots and lots and lots of water. I need to be in the ocean. I need to be Aquaman is what I need to be.
Aquaman. Is this the Jason Momoa?
Yes, James Wan
Vehicle.
directed.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. I never knew. I didn't realize that until I knocked it on, and it was like, yeah, you know the guy that made Conjuring made this. I was like, oh my god, I remember that. I completely forgot about that aspect of the film.
Yeah. What's it like?
Man, this film is bizarre. This film is like, it starts off and it is so bad, like in the most like creative way possible. It's art and how bad it is, because like the characters are just like, they're like really over like really over dramatic. Like it's really like sentimental. Like if the actors felt aware of like the shit dialogue they're delivering, and like the green screen, the special effects in this film are so bad. But like, it's almost like if they're aware of it, it could have been a parody movie. Like that's the level that it's on. But it's so serious. Like its tone is like weirdly consistent.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't match up with like everything that's going on, because like Aquaman is an inherently goofy character. Like it's a cunt that can talk to fish.
Yeah, you can't really salvage that, yeah. But is it like it takes itself seriously?
Oh yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like this is like a Marvel movie done worse.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Yeah.
It's
This made $1 billion though.
man, I enjoyed it.
It's good.
Like weirdly, because like it keeps going and like it gets like more and more insane, and like some of the visuals are really cool. Like this is really cool. I thought that there's a bit in the film where they basically go to a trench, and in the trench is like all these like, they kind of look like xenomorphs that can like swim, and they're like made of scales and shit because they're like monster humanoid things, and they're chasing them through the water, and it's complete pitch dark, but they're able to use a flare to like keep light and like keep them away. So it's just like this like really big shots of like all this stuff like swarming around them, like this pitch black, and then this like red light keeps going through, and some of that looked really nice, like genuinely looked really cool. But
That
then,
sounds cool, yeah.
But then there's the scene where they're in the desert, and it's the worst green screen I think I've ever fucking seen in my life. It's like it looks like a Neil Breen movie or something. Like,
How do you fuck up the scenes on land?
I have no idea.
You know? Like I thought the challenge would have been filming water accurately.
I don't think this
being
is
underwater.
I genuinely don't think there's a scene. No, there's maybe a few scenes that take place like in the real world or whatever, but everything just feels like it's on a set.
Yeah. That's not good.
No.
That's not good. But did they pull off the water effect?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, some of it looks really shit.
Yeah.
Like, the main villain is the dad from The Conjuring, or not the dad, the paranormal investigator.
Oh, your man, yeah, he's good. Patrick Wilson, yeah.
Patrick Wilson. He's the main guy in it.
Yeah.
And like, it's just really weird seeing him being a villain. I was like,
yeah, he's always the good guy.
it's like really. I feel like the acting or something is like really theatrical. It feels like James Wan is like, or like the writers, not even, like the writer or something, are like aware of how like stupid this is, but like DC are just like no. This needs to be like the Dark Knight of Aquaman.
There's no Batman Begins of Aquaman.
And that's another thing. Like, there's so much exposition. Like
What's Aquaman actually about?
Like this, right? So Aquaman is, so the start of the film is his mom is the queen of Atlanta.
Atlanta or Atlantis?
Atlantis, sorry, not Atlanta. The queen of Atlantis, and I think her name is like Atlantis or Alan or whatever the fuck. They're
Alan.
I'm telling you, the names in this film are ridiculous. But anyway, so she flees and she ends up on a lighthouse with this dude, and I was like, oh. And Willem Dafoe's in this film as well. I was like, oh, it's like The Lighthouse.
The prequel to The Lighthouse.
Yeah,
That's what happened to them. Yeah.
But see, in The Lighthouse, though, the mermaid was the offspring.
Yeah.
Offspring of the lighthouse man and the merwoman.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All comes together.
The origin story, it's all making sense.
But, so they end up banging, and it's Nicole Kidman is like the queen of Atlantis.
Jeez, how did they get these people to sign on?
The cast is insane.
Yeah.
The cast is huge. But like I don't know if this comes out before or after Justice League. I'm pretty sure it's beforehand. And in which case, like, it feels like it's missing a film beforehand because like the film's like so different in like two different halves. Like, it sets up who Aquaman is, but then like cuts a couple of years, and like he's just a badass. Like he everyone knows who Aquaman is, but they don't know what he looks like. Like, there's like a pirate. This submarine gets hijacked by pirates who have like the most ridiculous high tech shit in the world. Like, there's like, and I was like, oh, they're like an elite like group, whatever. It's like kind of, but like they're mostly just like regular pirates, but for some reason have like a spy submarine. That latches onto a bigger submarine, and they all go in and they kill like everyone in it or whatever, and then Aquaman comes in and he like saves everyone, but he leaves like the leader. So there's like the leader and his dad is like before Aquaman comes in, the dad turns to the son and is like, this was your grandfather's knife, and gives him to it. Like, they literally do a scene like that. He's like, your grandfather fought in like World War II, whatever it was, and all this shit, and like, this was his knife. And I just turned to Isabel, and Isabel had seen it before, and I was like, so I'm assuming that the dad dies, and I'm assuming, and I was like, and I'm assuming that Aquaman like kills him, and that's why, because I knew that Mantis or Black Manta, who is a Aquaman villain, was in this film. So I was like, okay, so that's Black Manta. He's gonna Aquaman's gonna end up killing his dad somehow, and then he's gonna hate like Aquaman.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens.
That's so overdone though.
It's like,
so overdone.
But it's like there's so many tropes in the film.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, oh, Aquaman is a thing of two halves. Like, he's man and fish man.
The duality of man and fish.
And he's like, he's the only one that can combine the world of the underwater world with the land world or whatever the fuck it was. And it's just like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, come on, like, how do you combine land and sea? Like?
Volcanoes, bro. But and then you get a scene where Patrick Wilson is talking to someone, and like I don't really understand like how Atlantis works in this film, like, because like it says it like in one line where like originally Atlantis was like one big kingdom, but then it fell apart and went underwater, and their technology was so advanced that the humans just were able to breathe underwater like instantly, I guess.
This sounds like that episode from Futurama where they end up in the lost city of Atlanta. It literally sounds exactly like that, where they have the little breathing apparatus, the mermaid, stuff like that. Yeah, but
you don't need the breathing apparatus because
you just breathe underwater.
Yeah, you just breathe underwater. Well, I don't like whatever. But Atlantis makes no sense. Okay, the whole world of Atlantis doesn't make sense because their tech was so high advanced that they immediately were able to evolve into being able to breathe underwater. Whatever, right? Fine. Separate kingdoms, and then from the original kingdom, and they're all different like kinds. Like, there's ones that are like full on like fish people. There's ones that are like crabs. The ones that are in the trench come from the Atlanteans as well. And then there's like two separate like Aquamans and like this other group, like whatever, doesn't matter. So they all have kings, and one king comes up to another king, and he's like, oh, I want to start a war on the land, and to do that I need to get your help, and I need 2 other armies, and then we can invade. And your man's like, oh, why did you bring me out here to talk? And he's like, oh, you don't know what this is? This is the land, or like the fucking the hall
world of tomorrow.
It's like, this is the Hall of the Kings, and just explains to this character that obviously should know this information. Like, this dude is a king, and this other king is explaining to him where he is in Atlantis, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, what? Like, it's so like it's not subtle at all. Like, it's just explaining things, and that's why it feels like there should have been a film beforehand.
Yeah.
but it's so weird. The entire fucking film is just so weird. It's so bad, but it's so good. It's like entertainingly bad.
Yeah, it sounds kind of terrible, to be honest.
It
but
is.
I can see how, because I've heard it's good before. I've heard people say
It's not.
Oh, like I've heard it's like enjoyable. People liked it. I'm
I can
pretty
see
sure
why.
when it came out. I don't know. It's
But like, if anyone wants to turn to me and say like this is a good superhero movie, they're fucking lying. Like they're just fucking lying.
Yeah, Aquaman. He's just like, it's one of those things that you should have left. Like Marvel had that whole gallery of superheroes that I could have chose to do to start off with. Instead of, they had the Hulk and they started off with the Hulk and that failed, and they're like, oh, do Iron Man. Iron Man was unknown. He was like a shit superhero.
Yeah.
No one cared about him.
He was a C tier.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, he's like, I'm pretty sure they're just like, he's the most, like, the least ridiculous that we have.
Yeah.
Like, what else do they have?
But the reason why they did it because they wanted to sell toys.
Yeah,
That's the reason. Like, and they asked kids like, which one of these characters do you think would make a cool toy? They all said Iron Man. They're like, all right, fine, let's make an Iron Man movie.
He is. He's cool, but he's grounded. He's like, it makes sense. Aquaman's just like ridiculous. It's like
a dude that talks to fish.
Yeah, he's just underwater.
And he does. By God, he talks to them fish.
Like how is that used in the film? Talking to it, like are those his armies and stuff?
He like sort of like, there's a scene where like he's a little kid and it's only like a clip, and like he's at the aquarium and he has his hand up against the glass and they're talking to a bunch of fish or whatever, and then these bullies come over and like, fish boy, and they like smack him or whatever, and then like a shark just starts like ramming into the glass, and all the kids in his class and like the staff and everyone in the place is like, whoa, what the fuck, the shark's about to fucking come out and attack us, and he just turns around and he just lifts his hand and like a sonar comes out and all the fish like come slowly towards, and then it's just shot of, like, all the people are going like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And like going like, whoa, like being like flabbergasted, because then it cuts to what they see and it's this kid with his hands in the air and all the fish in the aquarium is behind him, like facing in his direction.
It's just like, you can't not make that ridiculous.
And this is before the opening credits, because the opening title, because then it zooms past him and through all the fish and everything, and then Aquaman disappears in a bunch of fish, and then it's just all this, it's like they start finding Nemo or some shit.
Yeah, finding Nemo too.
But like, so that progresses then to the point where, like, basically Aquaman, like, okay, so the whole thing is like Aquaman needs to get like basically like Neptune's crown, like in SpongeBob. Like he needs to get a Tryphon, right, to fight his brother, because his brother's like just like stronger than him at the moment. But he's the true king. Like Aquaman is the true king because he's the firstborn. Anyway, so he goes off and gets the Tryphon, and like this like tentacle monster comes out and attacks him. I was like, how do you know that you're worthy? And he's like, basically he says like, I am fucking worthy. Like just give me the fucking Tryphon. And he takes it, and then she's like, oh, you can. Sorry, the sea monster says to her, like, says to him, oh, you can hear me, and he's like, yeah, I can. That voice of the sea monster is Mary Poppins, like the original Mary Poppins,
like Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Anyway, then, so the brother is after like he's trying to get, he's now taking on the fourth army of the kingdom to like conquer them and then take them over and then like launch an attack on Earth, right? Then all of a sudden, boom, boom, the ground starts shaking. And this fucking kaiju comes out, and it's like, it's the big monster, the tentacle monster. Because I was like, that's a really shit monster. Like, they've been building this thing up as like something really strong, but it just looks like a bunch of tentacles. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's just the bottom half of it. Like, it's a kaiju. And Iron Man is riding this kaiju while these crab people...
Aquaman.
Oh, so what did I say?
Iron Man.
Oh, sorry, Iron Man.
That would be a twist.
That would be a twist.
Yeah.
Aquaman, sorry, is on top of this kaiju and is like leading an army and just taking them all out. And it's so ridiculous and it's so entertaining. But again, it's like silly and goofy at that stage. But beforehand, it took itself really seriously.
Yeah. That's the thing. You have to fall on one side, because someone like Thanos, ridiculous villain, a terrible villain really. But like they play it off because like Iron Man was grounded in reality, the first one at least. But then like they just played up to it. Iron Man 2 was a bit ridiculous. Iron Man 3 was a joke. And you have the Thor films would get progressively more kind of comedic, and then like Infinity, by the end of like Infinity War, Endgame, it's all just like, it's just a barrage of CGI, but they're not trying to be too serious about it. But like in like DC, you had like Dawn of Justice, Darkseid coming out of nowhere. It's just Batman versus Superman. Batman is just Batman. Batman is known as like grounded Like he's like kind of like realistic.
That's the
Just a
first
vigilante character.
That's the first Batman film since like Nolan's Batman.
Yeah,
films.
exactly. Yeah, but he's always been kind of known as that, And then the Superman, the Henry Cavill Superman, they tried to make that Man of Steel very grounded, very realistic. An interesting take on the character, in my opinion. But like, then they're battling it out, and then all of a sudden, Darkseid comes out of nowhere, and he's just a massive alien. It's like, what the fuck is this? This is just like
who's the bad guy in Justice League then?
Or maybe it is Darkseid. Maybe it's Darkseid in that one, but there's another one.
No, it is Darkseid in that.
Oh no, it's Steppenwolf. I think.
The fuck is that?
Yeah, it's Darkseid 2.0. Like it's
Okay.
just CGI alien who's like has no relation whatsoever to the characters because he's like clearly ridiculous and the CGI isn't very good, and the good guys are like kind of like serious. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Justice League, but
What's the Snyder Cut?
the Snyder Cut, yeah, 4 hours long. But like, wasn't the main problem with that? Is like it was too jokey because there's like a clear distance between the characters that are in that. Like trying to be serious, trying to be realistic, and then there's like joking around.
I think it's just hilarious. Like the blueprint on how to do this was set out before them, and they still fucked it up.
It was clear what to do. Like
the most iconic superheroes, like before Marvel, like the most like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman,
the Flash,
like Cyborg,
the Green
Lantern, like all these super iconic superheroes, and they're completely irrelevant now.
Yeah, that's the
like
thing.
to the modern audience, completely irrelevant.
That's the thing. They should have stuck to their guns and just, like they got a lot of flack for the whole. It's too serious. They should have like Marvel had the silly kind of thing, silly comedic thing. They should have just been like, let's just go fucking all out and like try to make this like some fucking The Wire.
Yeah,
with
The Wire,
or something like that. They should have done that. Like the Batman vs Superman had no reason to have a villain. There shouldn't have been a villain.
I just don't understand.
It doesn't make the two most iconic characters in the genre. Like that's enough. People went to go see that, not to see them. We're gonna fight this alien.
But it's like
who cares?
They just went ahead and like basically like they just speed ran like the first two phases of Marvel basically.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't do that. You can't set that all up in like one film. Like you need to do like to be fair. Like,
they just shouldn't have done. They should have done a different way.
Like the structure to Marvel like works. Like whatever you say about whatever like the new Black Widow film coming out. That film should have came out fucking years ago, and everyone fucking knows it. But like. At least, like, you had, like, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, and all these films that were building up to this thing and, like, dropping hints as to why everyone would be where they are when everyone, like, meets, right?
The credit scenes.
Like,
when they first started coming out.
Made perfect sense. All worked.
Yeah.
But then you get Superman 2, which introduces now, like, I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman comes into that film, and so does Batman, and you get, like, Darkseid, who's, like, one of the most iconic DC, like, villains. No build up, no nothing, no backstory to any of these fucking characters that like these versions.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, just meant you're expected to give a shit.
Yeah. They didn't do any backstories. It's ridiculous.
And like Aquaman gives you backstory, but like it still feels like it should be. It feels like the middle film of a franchise.
That's the problem. Like they could have just kept it simple. Like the blueprint was there. They could have just copied Marvel, and that maybe would have been safer. But at the same time, it's like. Maybe the moment had passed. Like they didn't have time to like give everyone their individual films. They should have just kept to the core characters: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman get her own movie. Everyone gets their own movie. Forget about Justice League for like till 2030 or whatever.
But the other thing as well is like there's so little like characters in Justice League. There's the Flash. There's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg. I think there's 5, isn't there?
Something like that, yeah.
3 of these characters, and Aquaman, we've got, the 6, we've got Aquaman.
4 Aquaman.
3 of these characters, 3 of them, of half of the group, have had films about them, and Wonder Woman has had 2.
Yeah.
There's been no Flash movie, there's been no Cyborg movie, there hasn't been a Batman film.
There's been no Batman movie. That's criminal.
There's a Joker one, there's a new one coming out, but that's not even related to Justice League. That's fucking...
Is that the Jared Leto thing?
No, not the Jared Leto one, the fucking...
The Batman.
The one with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, the Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not related. See, that's what they should have done, and then they cottoned onto it way too late. Something like that. Something more serious.
Confusing.
What
do you think that new Batman film's gonna be like?
I think it'll be pretty good. I think it'll be pretty good, but not amazing. It'll be good.
Because I'm wondering, like, is it gonna be like a Christopher Nolan?
I don't know.
Because it kind of looks like that.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Yeah.
Because they obviously saw the error of their ways. Like, that'll make $1 billion easy. If it's good.
Yeah,
And it will be alright, you know. At least alright, you know. Like, it's very simple. Christopher Nolan, he's put his stamp on the character. You can't go changing it so soon afterwards. You know?
Yeah.
It's just silly. Well, I think that...
I kind of want to watch all the Justice League films now.
I don't. There's only 2, isn't there?
No, like, sorry, like the DC films.
Universe. That'd be a new series.
Really?
We haven't had a series in a while.
We actually haven't.
Yeah.
And it's like short enough. You can skip Aquaman now, fuck that.
We actually could. We could do
But the other thing that was...
We could do a post-mortem on them, you know? Tell DC what they did wrong. And then they'll give us the helm of the new Green Lantern film or whatever.
Are they doing one?
I don't know. Well, they're doing now. When they hear our pitch.
But they even introduced... Sorry, now that I think... Because I remember now of, like, the Snyder Cut. Like, that's, like... Well, actually, maybe one part of the reason why this franchise fucking sucks because it's Zack Snyder's baby, basically.
Yeah.
And that guy... Oh, God. What a man. But anyway... Like, I'm pretty sure at the end of the Snyder Cut, and I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure that they introduced, like, Marshall Matter, what the fuck?
Marshall Matters, Eminem.
Eminem gets introduced. Like, the Martian character, what the fuck is his name?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The green dude, but not the Green Lantern.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember his
Martian,
name.
yeah, some Martian.
But they introduced him into that film. It's like, what are you doing? Like, the other characters still haven't been fleshed out yet.
Yeah. What are you
added
doing?
more in?
What are they doing?
Because, like, at least with, like, the Hulk and the Avengers, like, you didn't need it back. You already had, like, the Incredible Hulk, and it's like, oh, well, now it's Mark Ruffalo, but like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's the Hulk. The Hulk shouldn't have his own film. Like, they've done that. It never fucking works. We've talked about the Ang Lee Hulk before.
Yeah.
That film is shit.
yeah. But, like, the Hulk didn't show up till Avengers, did he?
But, like, you had the Incredible Hulk with
I know
Norton.
what you
That
mean.
film was also shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but, like, they had those films beforehand, and then the Hulk comes in to a little ensemble that's already has like three main fleshed out characters already. I'm pretty sure Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. I might be missing one.
Well, the other two are like nobody's. You've Hawkeye
with Black Widow.
But like Black Widow and like Sam Jackson have showed up like multiple times.
Yeah. Sam Jackson was in like every film.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. At the end, or like in it. So like he was coming into an established story that most people had already seen. You know, so it worked. And, like Justice League is like every character is coming into like a story that doesn't make any sense, and no one knows who they are.
Why should I give a shit?
Yeah, it's like who cares about Cyborg or like I don't know. I haven't seen the thing, but like I can't imagine they can actually generate any sympathy. No. You know.
But the other thing as well is that the CGI is shit.
Yeah.
Like DC films are so ugly.
Dawn of Justice CGI was absolutely horrendous.
I don't even think I think like the CGI and like Marvel films is good, right? I don't think they're amazing looking films like that fucking meme that you see people going like, oh, this perfect shot or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
the one with the like it's all brown.
Yeah, it's like, it's like what the color gradings. Like Marvel gets critiqued for that all the time.
Yeah.
But like, God, they don't look like DC films. DC films look
so shit.
Artificial.
Yeah. It was just because I remember the Dawn of Justice was just all dark at the end. Did you see when it first came out the trailer for Dawn of Justice? I thought I was like, this is gonna be really good.
It's the same thing as the Suicide Squad.
It was the same thing as Suicide Squad. It's the exact same thing as Man of Steel. When the trailer came out, it was like leading up to this idea that like Superman was being like impeached by the people of the Earth, and Batman was like gonna come into play there.
It looked like it had a story.
There's like a political aspect to it, you know, and there's like it revolved around this sort of like a panning shot of a statue of Superman that was covered in graffiti. Statue looked like shite. Terrible CGI. But it made sense within the story of the trailer. So you're like, you didn't notice it. But then you watch the film. None of that really... It's like, it's mentioned, but none of that story actually really happens. And then at the end, the CGI is terrible. And like, it's all you can look at because you're like, who the fuck is this villain?
Who is this blob?
Yeah, who's this like... I can't even see what's going on, you know? And like... Fucking Jesse Eisenberg's left. No reason to have him in that either. Like any of them.
No.
Like he's the worst villain ever. He's
not
menacing at all.
And I don't think he came back in like Justice League or the Snyder Cut.
And, you know, he's like the Jared Leto of that.
But it's,
they're
both the same. He is Jared Leto. That's the thing. We're giving the franchise that has Suicide Squad involved. Like the Suicide Squad trailer was so good. I knocked on like the first like 3 minutes of Suicide Squad and I was like, I can't actually watch this. Like, it's cut. Like the editing in that film is so fucking bad.
The trailer was so good though.
But like,
so much potential.
And do you know what the worst thing is? Suicide Squad, the new one's coming out, and the trailer also looks pretty good. Like, what is that? What? Like, come on, Mark, it can't be bad. It can't keep being bad.
It can't do it again. That's your man, James Gunn.
Yeah, exactly.
Guy did Guardians of the Galaxy. So like,
there also was a Guardians of the Galaxy film in Phase 1 of Marvel as well.
Oh yeah. But that was like kind of like a DLC pack.
Yeah, DLC pack.
I was like, yeah, if you want to watch this, you can. I remember it was a big hit, and they're like, "Wow, I can't believe this is a surprise hit of the summer." It's like, man, you spent $300 million on this film. This is not a surprise hit. But like it's a good film though. But like DC, get it together, lads. Yeah. Get it together. I think just go all balls in. You know, just dark, serious. Have like, you know, the less like the Aquaman of the world. Have them in like a separate kind of box so they can do their own thing. You know, no need to have all this crossover BS. You know.
But the other thing as well is that like, watching Aquaman, no mention of any other superhero or Justice League or anything. Like, this is just Aquaman.
That's good.
But it also feels like really disconnected from everything else.
Yeah.
From the entire franchise. Like, it also lacks that. And I'm pretty sure that's a similar thing with Wonder Woman as well. And all those films, like it's not setting. They've never, like, they set up everything within the film. They never like plant their seeds and payoffs.
Yeah, you need to start planting seeds, man.
Yeah.
You need your seeds. I kind of feel like I want to watch them. How long is Aquaman?
2 hours.
That's
a little bit over 2 hours.
That's not that bad, you know.
But I haven't seen like any of them except for Aquaman. I kind of do want to watch the Snyder Cut.
It's 4 hours though.
Yeah, I know. It is.
Yeah. Like, there's so many other good films that are 4 hours long.
It's 4 hours long, and it's like desaturated, and it's in a 1-for-1 box.
Is it?
Yeah.
Thinks he's Xavier Dolan or something like that. What? Art house. Yeah. Art house comic book cinema.
And you know what? Apparently it's better than the original Justice League, so he actually pulled it off.
That's not hard. Joss Whedon, man. He's so shit.
I hate that content.
Everything that guy has ever done.
Yeah.
Is shit.
Yeah. Looking back, I'm like, this is all shit.
Yeah. Well, apparently Buffy's. I've
never watched Buffy. But
that's really good.
I watched Dollhouse, and like even when I was watching at the time, I was like, this is kind of shit. This isn't good. It's just an interesting concept, but like, I don't know. It's just very episodic, very like its own thing, and even it's just getting boring after a while. And I watched like season 1, and I literally can't tell you one plot point about that thing. Yeah. It's 2 seasons long or 3 seasons long.
Yeah, I remember I tried to watch Firefly many moons ago. I'd heard it was one of the best of all time and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it is.
It probably is now, yeah. Has a really dedicated fan base and stuff. Shy.
Shy.
It's just not my thing, but like,
yeah.
The guy in general just isn't like, he's a bad guy.
He's an asshole as well. Yeah. He's a bad fucking
shape
dude.
his fucking head as well. The guy's like,
the audacity.
The audacity to have a forehead like that. Like,
yeah.
Like, you know?
Looks like the kid from Gummo.
Yeah. Oh, God. Some man.
Tell you. Now, is this fixed? I think it is.
Is it?
Okay, it is.
We're back after a week-long hiatus.
Fucking
of having
Christ.
Good audio.
Right.
Alright.
So,
let's not talk about what just happened.
I think we should explain what happened. Because, Mark, we've been
bamboozled.
We recorded another 35 minutes of the audio quality that you have just heard. At one point, we went on our break at the 55-minute mark and came back and listened, and we're like, oh, fuck, demoralizing, you know? Talked about maybe the best part of a podcast ever.
Yeah,
maybe.
Man, that was our best ever work.
Maybe.
That was, like, so, like, lucid. We're both, like, just, like, on the same wavelength. We're, like, finishing each other's sentences.
It was poetry.
It's poetry in motion. Talking about Lynch.
And then we come back, and we hit record again, thinking that we've already fixed the problem. And lo and behold, still hadn't fixed the problem. However, now it's fixed. But
we hope.
We've already talked about everything that we've talked about, like there is on the docket.
We've already finished our list of things to talk about.
Maybe I could talk about true stories for a little bit. I'll talk about it a little bit. It's David Byrne.
David Byrne, yeah, true stories.
You ever heard about this film?
I've never, ever heard about this. I looked it up. It's like a musical comedy, isn't it? It's like a satire or something like that.
It is David Byrne's film. It's
the guy from Talking Heads.
Talking Heads. King
King. Got
David
a
Lynch.
big head,
David
big
Lynch.
shoulders.
We talked about you. We were talking about how much of a king David Lynch is, but you know, David Byrne also another David who is also a bit of a king.
2 Irishmen.
Yeah.
Lynch
is
Byrne.
Irish, is he? No.
Oh no, he's not Irish now.
Oh, no.
But like Lynch, he's definitely Irish.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Something there.
Lynch, you know. Lynch, Byrne. They're basically paddies.
Basically. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure David Byrne is Scottish.
I thought he was American.
I think his parents are American, but he is born in Scotland somewhere. But right, so what True Stories is cut. Jesus, just fucking falling apart here. David Byrne basically kept like a scrapbook of weird headlines and weird like tabloid stories that he found out about or just read throughout the years. And then True Stories is him basically making like an ode to like American fucking weirdos, where he takes the literal true stories and puts them into this film and like tells them and like makes them more fantastic. So one of the stories that's in it, and it's not even like it is kind of like vignette-y, but the characters like reappear and like they're still like weird in the way that they're weird within their little stories. So at one stage, David Byrne's character comes to his family's gaff for dinner or whatever, and he's told beforehand, oh, the mom and dad of the family love each other a lot, but they don't talk to each other directly. And so it comes to David Byrne's in the house, and the wife turns to the daughter and is like, will you pass this down to our guest? And then so the kid then passes it to the dad, who then passes it down to the son, and then the dad then turns to the little girl and is like, will you ask your mom to pass the mustard? And like, so they don't talk directly at all.
Yeah.
But that's based on a true story that like was written about, that like this couple have been with each other for like 20 years and never talked to each other directly. But that's like this kind of like weird, like American weird shit that just goes on.
Yeah.
Like only those type of stories come from America. And there's another one of like a woman that's never got out of bed because she doesn't need to, because she's super rich. So she just never leaves her bed and she has everything come to her and stuff like that.
That sounds class.
It sounds like the life.
Yeah, yeah. Is this tabloids about like celebrities or just random people?
Just random people. Like random weirdos that just like exist.
Parents who haven't talked directly, I feel like that's a Roald Dahl novel.
Yeah. And like that's the thing, like it feels like fantasy or like a Roald Dahl or like a storybook or something. And it's a musical, so like it has like talking heads music. There's one bit where they're in a club and everyone like, it's like a karaoke scene or something, and everyone walks up and is singing like a David Byrne song, and it's David Byrne talking, and everyone's going up and they're all lip syncing and like miming to it, and then like it's shot like a talking heads video and stuff like that. But like David Byrne is in the film as like he's a character within the film, but also he's the narrator. So like he's like driving around and he's just like describing like the landscape and like this like it's meant to be like a town. It's like a Texas town. So he's talking about like describing like the history of the town, like where it came from, how it started. Like he was like like Texas as a state was fought over between the French and the Spanish, whatever, and like all this stuff, and like talking about like all the native tribes that existed and like who became rich and how they became rich and stuff like that. And it's just like really interesting like that, and like he brings like this really like dry, like dissociated like vibe to it nearly, but it's like a tapestry of like Americana filled with like weird Americana people. And John Goodman is in this as well.
Yeah.
He's in, I think Raising Arizona came out after this, and apparently David Byrne didn't like John Goodman.
Why not?
Because David Byrne wanted like nobodies, and they were like, yeah, well, he's a nobody, and like I don't know, he just didn't like him. And I suspect the reason might be that he was like, this guy's gonna become someone, and like I just wanted a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, this guy's actually good at his job.
Yeah, this fella can act. Yeah. But like everyone in the film are good actors as well, because they're like directed by David Byrne, who's just like, here, you're meant to be fucking weird, so just be fucking weird.
Yeah. David Byrne.
And John Goodman sings in this.
Oh, really?
He sings a song that's very, very good.
Yeah, man, he sings in Monsters Inc.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good as well.
Does he sing in Monsters Inc?
Yeah, he sings the credit song.
Oh,
I
does he?
wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have
He's a
you.
good singer.
You know?
Yeah.
That sounded like that. But it says duet between him and Mike
Yeah.
at the end of it. It's pretty good.
Fucking,
But
what's his name?
Bill Crystal.
Yeah,
Or
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal, yeah.
It's just another man with a strange head.
yeah, bug eyes. Yeah, what's he been in though? He's sort of fallen out
Billy
of favor.
Crystal, he hasn't been in anything in ages, man.
Yeah.
But because I watched Raising Arizona like last week or something before I watched this.
Mm.
One thing I noticed about John Goodman is like that man had a baby face when he was younger. He looks so weird when he's younger.
Completely different. I think it's because his eyebrows are like blonde in
Mm.
Raising Arizona.
And it's the same in this film as well.
Yeah, he looks like, I was like, I know that guy. I was like, oh, that's John. You starts talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's John Goodman. Yeah,
He
that's
looks
Sully.
really fucking weird though.
Yeah, he looks very different.
Because I still like imagine him as like, you know, how we imagine him now, or like
Big fat bastard, you know,
like
big
just-
deep bassy voice.
but like just like in he's in The Borrowers, isn't he? You ever see that? The Borrowers?
No, the animated thing
No,
with the rats.
no.
No.
They call The Borrowers. Yeah, I think it was something. Yeah, pretty sure that's what they called. It's a film I used to watch when I was younger. I don't have a video, but he's in that. And like I just always that's just like peak John Goodman playing like a John Goodman character. And then like he's in fucking Cloverfield Lane. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Oh yeah, what do you think about the Cloverfield franchise?
Shy.
Really? Did you not like it?
I like that film.
I like that film,
That
yeah.
film was really good. But the first one, I was like, ugh. It's like Blair Witch, but with aliens, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's I think the first one's alright.
I haven't seen any of the others, but I've heard I've heard they're shocking.
The third one is fucking awful.
Yeah,
The third one
I think
is
it was
so bad.
I think it was you that was talking about it, and you're like, it's so shit. And I was like,
Oh man,
no.
it is fucking like bafflingly bad.
10 Cloverfield Lane is good though.
Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane fucks.
Yeah, I don't know how they managed that.
See, I think my only problem is like the fact that it is a Cloverfield film. So the entire way through, you're like, well, yeah, like it is going to be aliens because I've seen the aliens,
Yeah, but there's a twist.
but it's not really a twist because then it's like oh, it's actually not what you think it is, but it is what you think it is.
Yeah.
Because like oh, it's not actually the air isn't poisonous, but it is aliens.
yeah. That's the thing. I think I kind of forgot that when I was watching. I was like, why is the air poisonous? I was like, oh, it's not. But that's like, it would have been maybe better not as a Cloverfield film, just as a standalone.
Yeah, but then it's not.
It wouldn't have got made.
Yeah, or like not that it wouldn't get made, it wouldn't got any attention.
I think it stands. If it was made exactly as it was and just a different title, it would be. I think it would be pretty well known. Yeah. Or not pretty well known, but like
the ending would have made, but like the ending would be like, this is fucking bullshit.
yeah, probably.
If people that know it's a Cloverfield film, like this ending is
Like,
fucking
what is
bullshit.
that? Yeah.
Like
Well, a lot of films
yeah.
have that though, you know. Ever see Sunshine? What the fuck happened to that thing?
Man, Sunshine.
That's a great film.
That film
Up
is
until the last 20 minutes.
2/3 of the best film I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so good. And then it's like, what's going on here? It's like,
it just
like a
shits the bed.
it's like ever see Event Horizon?
No.
You should watch
Who's
that.
the director? Oh, Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah. That is a good film, but
Mm.
it's a good film in the same way that a film that I can't think of it is also a good film. It's the way it has like really good ideas.
Same way as Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman. Yeah. And has great ideas, great concept, great premise. But like it's just like mad cheesy and stuff.
Yeah.
I just poorly pulled off.
That's just Paul W.S. Anderson, man. But
Yeah,
that fella,
maybe, yeah.
That fella somehow got worse with directing it with each film he directed.
Experience is just like he's just like receding, just regressing with every film.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure one of his first films is Event Horizon. And then he does the Resident Evil movies. And he did he has something else out as well. He's got the new Monster Hunter film, which is apparently dog shit.
Monster, I haven't seen it or heard of it, but like Event Horizon has this great concept where it's like they fall into a different dimension, which is cool. And like it's like they hear there's like these recordings of like them like in the other dimension. They're like, oh, I was like this crew's been sent off to sort of find them or whatever, and they just find all these like the remnants of this crew. That's so spooky, so cool, great setup. But they fought this whole thing in the latter part where they're in hell, like they're literally in hell. Like the other dimension is just hell, which is like
That's so lame.
all the things you can do with like a kind of cosmic horror kind of thing. You just bring it back to the earthly conception of
Yeah.
hell, really stupid execution, and that's what Sunshine kind of did, whereas it had this like it's like opening up all these possibilities and just like evoking like this is really like a. It's like it is a cosmic horror, like a proper horror film, but then it turns into like an action film at the end.
Yeah, because like the whole horror is like you're going towards this like uncaring, unflinching source, the sun.
Yeah,
and like what happened to the other crew before they get there, and then you find out, and the guy went crazy because of like a cosmic horror. Kind of, he turns into like a zombie. He's like infected by the sun, and like that could be done as like a cosmic horror type of thing.
Yeah,
but it doesn't work in the film.
Because he's just like a zombie.
And he's just, because he's an earthly, as you said, like, he went for a cosmic thing, but then pulled it back down to an earthly
it's just
thing.
a guy going mental.
And then it's real messy as well. Like, it's not, like, it rushes along. Like, he's introduced, and then he's like a killer. And I don't know. Like, one of the best, like, bits in the film, I think, is when they're outside trying to fix the lights or something. And there's a solar blast coming, like, get the fuck back, and it's tense, and someone does die, and they die really bad.
Yeah, there should be more films about the sun. You know, what is that, you know? What's that all about?
It's a big ball of energy in the sky.
A giant ball of radiation blasting the earth so hard that the earth started to hallucinate, you know? It created us. What's that about? That's a cosmic horror.
Yeah.
That is a deity up there.
Yeah,
there should be more films about that. But yeah, Cloverfield Lane, going back to that, and then indirectly back to True Stories.
Yeah. Listen, man, we have to go real loose now.
We're getting really loose here. But Cloverfield Lane has that exact same problem where it's like, you know, it's doing all these. Well, it's not really a problem. It's more like they just had to find a way to justify putting this brand title on top of it, like over the top of the fucking movie, you know. But it's great otherwise. It reminds me of a book I read, Wool, but well back in the day, which is about silos underground and like this dystopian kind of post-apocalyptic Earth where everyone lives underground and they don't really know why, and but they have this idea that it's like the air is poisonous, which is what I was always thinking. I used to think that'd be an amazing idea for a film.
Yeah.
But then they go outside and it turns out it's not poisonous. I stopped reading at that point, but like there's a few other books in the series. As soon as something else happened, but they're way too long. It's like fucking hell, man. But they're like 700 pages. I wasn't reading that, but I was thinking that's where I was going, and it sort of did, you know.
Yeah,
maybe that's what happened at the end of Wool.
I don't know, because like in Cloverfield Paradox, it's like a similar thing again, but it's like a completely separate. Like this is even more jarring. Like it's a completely separate film, and it does deal with like they're slipping into like another dimension, and from that dimension, then that's what causes
the
monster to come in. But like it doesn't feel like that at all, and like it's a shit movie. Like it's a fucking bad movie.
Yeah, that's the main problem there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interdimensional films. It's such a great kind of trope, you know. Underexploited.
Really is. Really is.
Interstellar. Tell me Interstellar. Like, very problematic film. In terms of like, you know, it's like a load of problems there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
A lot of weird things. It's like, the power of love and all this shit. But I forgive it because it's like proper like experimenting with that kind of thing. Where it's like, it makes you go, whoa, that's a pretty cool idea. You know?
It's the same thing with Interstellar, with, you know, Sunshine, and with True Detective, where they go for something bigger, and they don't go the full way, and they like it drops it back and it pulls it back down into it's, you know, it's a crazy guy on a ship, it's the true power of love, it's the ending of True Detective. I'm gonna spoil that because, you know, I think everyone should just watch that. But it's, you know, it's the ending of True Detective, and it's just it's like shy. It's like, you know, we talked about before ages ago, and it's like it's that falling back into convention. It's like not going the full way with your idea, or like just like explore. Like with True Detective, it's such a tragedy because it was so close.
Absolute tragedy. Yeah, absolutely is. It's literally like. It's like a deficit of imagination. They had it right there. They have all these opportunities, these opening up possibilities, which is what you want. Like they don't even need to narrow it down. They could leave all these open ended, like Lynch and stuff do. Like a lot of these great directors like leave Kubrick and stuff. They leave these massive questions at the end of it, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't make the film bad. You know, it sort of it activates the viewer in a different kind of way, where you're thinking, oh, what was that about?
Yeah.
Which is, you know, with Kubrick's like, oh, what was Eyes Wide Shut about? No one really knows.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good film, but like maybe you should have been a bit more specific with that one. But like it's better than just being like, it's better like the True Detective ending is the equivalent of Kubrick going at the end of Eyes Wide Shut. It was like, oh, it's just like Tom Cruise is just like a pervert, or he's just like a prude, and he didn't like people having sex and stuff like that. It's boring. Yeah, boring. You know, like leave it open. Like the limit to your imagination as a single person, as a director, is like can never be better than like the collective kind of interpretation of the audience. Yes, you should always defer to the audience at every opportunity. Yeah, I think
that is 100% true. 100, because like when you finish like Interstellar, there's not like open like, oh, what could this mean or whatever. Like it's fully explained. And it's don't ever explain shit. Do what Lynch does. Don't explain it. Like even if someone asks you, it's like, oh, is this what it means? Like, yep, that's what I meant. That's exactly what I meant. Same thing with, we talked about this before, but like Darren Aronofsky with fucking Mother. Like you don't need to explain it. Like leave it open, because your interpretation of your own work will never satisfy everyone. So just don't fucking tell everyone what it is. Yeah. Like author intent doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter, man. Yeah. And you're just closing off different interpretations, different horizons. You're making it worse.
Event horizons.
You're closing off your event horizons, you know. Black holes. Someone should make a film about black hole. I suppose Interstellar was. Yeah. They should make films about white holes. That's what I want.
Going outwards, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, it's like it's a bomb in space. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Saw it on Joe Rogan.
You have any tips for that? I don't
know. I saw it on Joe Rogan.
Is that true?
No.
How the fuck would I know? But yeah, True Story is a great film. It's a good movie. David Byrne's a king. Ode to Weirdos, which is a film genre that I think that we like on this podcast. You know, it's like Gummo, Napoleon Dynamite, all these films we always try it on about.
Yeah, the flagship genre of the Paropod.
Weirdo propaganda.
Yeah.
We go on to our listener questions.
We'll head on to the old listener questions. If you'd like to ask us a question, you can get to us on Instagram or on Twitter at paro_pod, or you can get to us via email at theparopod@gmail.com. And our question this week is...
This one's coming in from Rachel, and Rachel is asking us, you guys seem to agree on on the same things a lot of the time. What films do you disagree on? Joker.
Yeah, we disagree on Joker. Owen thinks it's bad. I think it's good. That's pretty much it.
I don't think it's bad. I just think
Owen hates Joker.
Joker's the best three, like, you know, that's not even the best. It's a pretty decent 3-star film.
3, I can see that, but I can see it more as like a, like you'd respect it, you know, a respectable 3 stars. Not like it kind of like it fell short, and maybe it did fall short in some ways, but it's like a Prometheus kind of film, you know, 3 stars. But
I disagree with this.
No, I think it's a 3-star Prometheus equivalent, where you're like,
Prometheus is so much better.
I don't know. I think they're both shit in the same ways, you know. But I love both. I like both films quite a bit.
Do you prefer Joker to Prometheus?
No, but they're on the same level.
Okay,
they're equivalent. They're equivalent. Man, people hate Prometheus.
I was about to end the fucking podcast right now if you're about to say that.
Scraps. This is what we need. We need more conflict on this podcast.
I just think that, like, I would agree with you if Joker wasn't so derivative of other things.
It is so is everything else, like, you know.
But it's like to an annoying extent. It's like a fucking film, bro. And like, oh, did you get the reference? It's not. It's like
that's not even. That's the thing. It's not even a reference. They just pure copy.
You're ripping it off.
You just pure copy the end of King of Comedy, and like loads of other scenes in King of Comedy,
and Taxi Driver. Like, because I hadn't even seen. I really heard about King of Comedy when I watched Joker, but I was still annoyed when I was watching Joker. It's like, this is just like fucking Taxi Driver, because he even does like a gun to his head or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck this. And then like, and then the ending and like the whole monologue of like, we live in a society basically.
Yeah.
And like no subtlety throughout the entire film, just like banging you over the head over and over again with the same message. And it's just like, and I know another thing that I thought about was like, and we talked about like, you know, fucking Jared Leto's Joker and stuff like that, like earlier on. Like the Joker does really, really like horrific shit in the comics, and I know that like the original, like or not the original, sorry, this version of Joker is a different thing, but like, you know, it still relies on the fact that you know that it's Joker, and it's like, oh, we're gonna humanize this character and explain why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
It's like you can't really like justify the shit that Joker does. Like Joker does some really fucked up shit.
Yeah. It's just like, you know, it's good, man. It was good.
It's grand.
Yeah,
it's grand.
It's cringe, but it fully embraces the fact that it is cringe. It doesn't shy away from. I appreciate the fact that it doesn't, you know. It's like it's a stupid film. It's a dumb film.
Oh God, it is.
It's a film.
But it thinks that it's smart. That's the annoying thing.
I don't think it does. I don't think it pretends to be smart at all. Like it's a film that, you know, anyone can enjoy.
I think you're giving Todd Haynes a lot of fucking
Todd
credit.
Phillips, yeah.
Todd Phillips, yeah.
Yeah,
That's Todd Haynes.
I don't know.
Todd
Haynes is a name that's come up before though.
I'm pretty sure Todd Haynes is a good director. Does Todd Haynes do
Todd Haynes,
like Safe and
Safe,
Carol and stuff like that?
I don't know. And Safe bored me to death. And I tried to watch that.
I've never seen Safe.
Maybe I heard it's really good, but I watched like 20 minutes. I was like, fuck this. But nah, Joker, cringe city, but in like an endearing way, you know. So I'd say it's a lot closer to 4 stars than 3, and like a big gold star for effort. You know,
great. What is that like? Oh my God.
That's a participation trophy.
Participation.
But
yes.
like, you know, that's the thing. They participated in the $1 billion club. You know, that film made $1 billion beans. No film. You know, like think of the films that make $1 billion. They're all like the same pretty much. Joker is like kind of like the black sheep. They're like, that's the weirdo. That's a weird. It
is a cool experiment.
That's a good experiment, yeah, which I appreciated.
But it's also the most like edgy bullshit.
Yeah,
experiments like, what if he did Joker or like did a comic book movie, but like a Scorsese film?
yeah. Like without Phoenix, it would not work at all. Like that.
No,
that final monologue would. No one else could do that. That like with a straight face and like make it work. He made it work though. I think.
Yeah, God, why? Like, what if they didn't have Joaquin Phoenix's Joker?
What if they had Jared Leto in that film? That would have been maybe the worst film ever made.
Easily.
You know, that's the thing.
That's a Zack Snyder film.
Yeah. Yeah, that just would have been. Yeah, like a lot of it is Phoenix. You know. But I hope they don't make a second one.
Fucking hell, I hope they don't.
They definitely will. But
and what if the new Batman film is going to end up like that?
Like what? Like Joker?
Like a Joker.
That'd be great.
I would be so disappointed.
Well, what would they do? Like
I feel like they could though.
They can't do that though. It's Matt Reeves. Is it Matt? No, it's Christopher Reeves. He's dead. It's one of the guy made.
I think it is Matt Reeves.
Yeah, it probably is. He did Planet of the Apes.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
He's not like you know.
He's not a hack.
Yeah, he didn't do the Hangover films or whatever, you know.
Maybe that's the next franchise we should go on, man.
What? The Hangover?
Hangover movies. I haven't seen them in a long time. And we never touched on them when we were talking about our 2000s comedies like Matt Reeves, you're right? Yeah.
The Hangover, there's only 3 of them. Like.
Yeah, the shit as well.
The first one's alright.
I haven't seen it in so long.
I remember it being pretty good. The other ones are rubbish. I
remember
one
is so fucking bad.
I remember when I think it was the third one, and the trailer. I remember seeing the trailer in the cinema, and it was just the scene where, you know, they have a giraffe and the fucking...
Yeah, and it gets decapitated.
Yeah, I was just like I don't know what age, I was like 15 or something. I was like, that film looks fucking retarded. What are they like, that's just like, that's like, the original film is ridiculous. But like, that's just like, what are they doing?
Yeah, that's so bad. That's stupid.
That is jumping the shark, literally.
Yeah, that's jumping the shark.
Yeah.
In the Hangover movies.
In the Hangover.
You somehow managed to jump the shark.
Yeah, how do you manage that? But yeah, what are the film? Yeah, we just agree on everything. Like.
It's a fucking terrible podcast.
Yeah.
I think we disagree on RoboCop.
Do you hate RoboCop?
I don't hate it, but I think it's okay.
RoboCop is amazing, man.
It's alright. Like,
it's so good.
I don't know. I think that when I watched it the first time, it just wasn't what I expected, and I think I need to rewatch it.
I thought it'd just be a stupid film. I knew it was good, but I didn't think it like have anything to it.
Anything to say?
Anything to say, you know? It's RoboCop. You should have something to say. But it does. It's like Starship Troopers, but with cops.
I had the same thing with Starship Troopers, but I watched Starship Troopers when I was like way younger. Jeez, I don't know how old I was, but I was definitely not old enough to like, you know, read into a film or anything like that. And I just watched it as like a fun action movie. But I don't know, Paul Verhoeven's a very weird director.
He is. Showgirls and all that stuff. No, but RoboCop's a pure commentary on like police militarization and like ghettoization, stuff like that, and like all that stuff, and like just the whole like public accountability. You know, stuff like that. I thought it was amazing because I remember hearing that he's like, you know, the way RoboCop isn't actually a person. He's just a robot.
I never knew that though. I didn't get that in the film at all.
He's just a robot.
I think I'm completely I don't think I got RoboCop at all.
Yeah, that's the thing, because
I think it went right over my head.
But like, it's just his face, and then there's like residual memories that sort of seep into the machine. But he's just a robot, and they like just sort of attach the dead cop's face to the machine.
Yeah,
and then the machine starts remembering like just like vague memories of like a wife and family. But I remember hearing that. I was like, that sounds terrible. I want like a revenge film where the cop comes back and he has like a fucking mecha suit and stuff like that. But like, that's not the spirit of the film at all. Yeah. It's just a robot going around fucking everything up, you know. It doesn't matter that he's not, you know, also, you know, human. You know, machines can love, you know. Machines can have families.
Would you fuck a robot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't, man? It's the future now.
Yeah, don't be speciest.
Yeah, don't be I don't know.
Robophobe.
Yeah, don't be a robophobe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do need to rewatch
RoboCop,
because it is a film that I thought was like grand, but I don't know. I think I just didn't get it. What do you think about like I don't know, because we always agree on like Oscar films. Like, is there any like?
Yeah, true.
Like, do you like Crash? Do you like that movie Crash?
Crash, man, it touched me in different places. It violated me.
I was so awoken when I watched that film.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser's performance in Crash, Oscar worthy.
Brendan Fraser, is he in that?
He's not, yeah. The 2004 Crash.
Yeah, the one that won the Oscar.
Yeah.
What did that beat out? That beat out fucking... No, wait, Driving Miss Daisy beat out Do the Right Thing.
Driving Miss Daisy.
That's just so fucking funny.
Yeah.
That film's ruined because of Tropic Thunder, though.
That is hilarious. Yeah.
Got the scar from Driving Miss Daisy. Oh, Tropic Thunder's so good. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. We agree on a lot of films.
Yeah, we're just really boring.
There's just like...
We just have the correct opinions. That's the problem.
No, I think most of the time, like, we are just like... We both enjoy the same things in films. And most of the time, just think that most films are just grand. And that's the problem.
Yeah. It's alright, yeah.
It's like, I don't have really a strong opinion on most, like, shit.
Yeah. Sometimes I won't really like a film, but then you'll like convince me into liking it. You'll like talk me into it or something like the Texas Chainsaw. That pure worked. I hated that film when I was watching it. But the more we talked about it, I was like, oh yeah, it kind of makes sense. You know? It kind of works.
It's such a weird fucking movie.
Yeah.
But that's it. Yeah, because we both look for similar things in films, and like this podcast can be so hard some weeks. It's like I've watched all these films, but I don't have an opinion on any of them.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to fucking say.
So you just
like, did you hear that? Did you hear that True Stories conversation? I had no opinion on that film, really. We talked about Cloverfield.
We just like wandered off track, like. And our next question is coming in from Adam. Sound for that?
Nice one,
Adam. He's asking, what do you think of Jeff Bezos going into space?
It's a crime, isn't it?
It's a crime. I say keep him there. Yeah. I say let them have him. You know, not a nice guy. Not a nice guy.
But you know, it's paid from not paying taxes, worker exploitation, all the usual.
All that stuff. Yeah, you see, Branson went into space, spent $700 million going to space, but then there, just a year ago, he's there begging on his hands and knees to the British government. I need a bailout. Virgin was about to collapse. He goes and spends more money going into space. Just him, not to achieve anything or to accomplish anything. No scientific research. Probably MI5 had like another satellite up there now. That's about it. That's all they've done. You know, they accomplished nothing. See, Bezos had some Dutch kid on board as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was what was it? It cost something like 300 million, and the person couldn't go because of scheduling conflicts. What the fuck? Like, what type of schedule do you have where you could spend 300 million?
I think it was like 30 million, yeah.
And you don't check like what your schedule is. Like, you can just drop 30 million, and also, what's more important than going to space? Like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Like, what is that? Like,
my kid is a football guy.
I need to know who is that person and what were they doing? Like, what are they doing?
You have to record his podcast.
True. He's on Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Some Dutch kid went up instead. 18 years old, youngest person ever in space. But he also, I'm pretty sure he also paid the 28 mil. You know,
that's insane.
They should have. What I was thinking is like, imagine like say Iran, North Korea, China, Russia. Imagine they just sent a rocket up and just blew them up. No one would care. That would be a massive. That would be a pure boon for all those countries. Like the entire world would be like, that's class, fair fucking play. Like, no one would care. Only like fucking people in like.
Do you think that's the reason why they put on like an 18-year-old and stuff like that? Like,
that kid, he's a millionaire. It's like he deserves it as well, you know.
There's like, we need to put women and children on this.
Right. Human shields, like just a load of children strapped to the outside of it. Yeah, fucking hell, like. Yeah, he's 18 though. He's it's fair game.
Did you see the photo of him and all? Like when he's like.
Man, he looks like he has brain damage. What's wrong with him?
So
he looks like he's had a stroke. Why is his face like that?
He just looks. There's something uncanny about him.
Yeah. It's like he's definitely had like plastic surgery and stuff, and he's like on roids and stuff. But like, how could you be the richest man on earth
and look like that?
You know,
you look like a superhero villain.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that clip of him using like he's using like prosthetic arms, but they're like really long or something. I can't remember what exactly it is, but he starts laughing. But it's like it's like a villain laugh,
evil laugh.
He's like,
yeah. Man, he's just a shite superhero villain. Yeah, it's like him and Zuckerberg are like the worst villains. Like you'd almost think it's intentional that they put them there. So these people are pathetic. Like you wouldn't see them as a threat. You know, it's like, oh, this person is evil because they're just so like they just look like random people, like off the street. Like Bezos looks like an absolute weirdo. He'd stay away from, but you wouldn't be like, oh, he's a pure like I'm afraid of him, you know. And Zuckerberg is just like absolute, weird. He's just a random guy, you know.
He's a reptile, isn't he?
He's just a pure reptile, you know. It's so bizarre, but such a waste, you know. You could spend that money on anything else, literally anything else.
But it is like it's like.
What a waste.
It's such a peak.
He could have done the first podcast from space with that.
But you know what's so weird is that it wasn't Elon Musk. That's what I find really weird. Elon Musk wasn't the first one to go to space.
Yeah.
Out of all those, the richest ones.
He probably buy a ticket to the ISS because they didn't go. Like, you know the way they didn't go to space, they just went into suborbit.
Yeah.
Which is like. You can send weather balloons up that high. Like.
That's because that's another thing that I was wondering about. I was like, hold on, you can just buy a ticket to go to space, but you don't need to like train for like months, like faced with the G-force and stuff like that. Like, is that not a thing anymore?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like having to train to go to space.
Well, because like that, I think that's if like you're there for a while, because they're only there for a few minutes. Like, but they weren't even. They didn't go past the like the. I think there's like I think it's the legal barrier between the Earth's atmosphere and like space. They didn't go past that. There's like a lower belt that they went through, but they only went through for a few minutes, and then they came back down. So I think they would have been weightless, like, but they wouldn't have been like, having to acclimate to the whole thing or having to like learn how to sleep and shit and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because
like I think that's the main part of astronaut training, you know, just getting used to it.
Because like you always see we've all seen those movies, those astronaut movies, and you see the montage of them, and like when Homer goes to space and stuff like that, and he's going around like the fucking whizzing thing, like facing G-force and stuff like that. Like, I thought you had to be like pretty fit and healthy to do that. I'm not saying that the people who were on this, weren't fit and healthy, but like you have to go through like months of training and shit like that. Is what I mean. And like it all of a sudden it's like, oh, Jeff Bezos is going to space next month. With a bunch of people who bought tickets only recently.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
I guess Elon Musk is going to be the first one to go to Mars. That's why he's got his eyes set on bigger prospects.
Yeah, state of him, like, Man, they probably faked all that stuff anyway. Like the moon landings.
Yeah, probably.
They just like,
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't see any footage, personally. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to space. It's like, I could say that, you know, I'm going to space tomorrow, you know. Just don't look it up.
I think it's really weird that people are simping over billionaires doing this as well.
I didn't see anyone doing that. But I know CNN did the thing. I was watching that earlier today because it was on today actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it happened today or at like 1 p.m. or something. CNN had some live stream where they're like, Mr. Bezos, people are there's a backlash against you going into space. People are sort of mad about it. And he was like, yeah, they're right. Like he admitted that like it's kind of bad of him to go to space. It was like the most like American thing. It was like
he's like, yeah, it is bad. What are you gonna fucking do about it?
Yeah. He's not even like antagonistic. He's like, yeah, the people are right. We have to have a more fair society. And then he goes to fucking Mars by himself. Yeah. You know, it's like, what the fuck is that about?
He's like, yeah, we should have a more fair society. Yeah. And then he just like picks up his phone. It's like, how are the workers getting on? Make sure they're still not able to go to the bathroom without permission.
He starts an evil laugh and his jetpack takes off.
Iron Man.
We need a fairer society. It's just like,
and they look like fucking angel wings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm raising the minimum wage by $3. Tomorrow I'm going to Mars. It's like, fucking hell, like, you know, disgusting.
It's a scam, is what it is.
It's a scam. I'd love to go to space, though. Would you go to space?
Yeah, go to space.
I'd love to go to space.
Go to space before going underwater.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, actually, yeah.
100%.
I'd go to the moon. I'd love to go to the moon.
I saw this terrifying TikTok. It wasn't even terrifying, but, like, it was, like, this VFX thing where, like, your first-person perspective is, like, on the moon as an astronaut, and you look up at Earth, and then it just explodes, and then you're like,
fuck.
Because immediately, because I was watching, like, oh, what is this? And I looked at Earth, and I was like, oh, Earth looks real cool, and then it's exploded. I was like, oh shit! And then the pieces start coming towards the moon.
Yeah. I think you'd be like, oh, it's gonna be over soon. Because the worst part about that would be like, I'm about to run out of oxygen. I have to die slowly.
Man, if I saw like Earth exploding in front of my face like that, I'd just pick up a rock and smash that glass and just die instantly.
But then you'd be like choking on your own blood and stuff.
I'm pretty sure it's a quick death.
Yeah, but you're choking on your own blood and your insides boil.
Instantly though.
Instantly. It's like, ever see watch Event Horizon. They show it in that. He's like, or like ever see there's this video I saw on YouTube where this guy is one of those, like, you know, fucking life hacks channels, but like it's for science, and he sticks his arm in a vacuum, like somehow made a vacuum at home, and he stuck his arm in it. It's like 3 or 4 seconds, and his arm just went like blood red straight away. All the veins were popping out, and he's like, didn't have like a dead man switch, like he had to like turn it like manually off. He was like howling in pain, you know.
That's just so stupid.
That's it, but like he was like, oh, it's just for science. But like, imagine that, put your entire body. Fuck that.
Yeah,
I'd rather just get fucking whammied by a rock, like, by a piece of fucking earth.
By a piece of earth?
Yeah.
By my home.
My home, yeah. Where I came from, where I shall return.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's the dream anyway.
Yeah, but that's not the way to go out. That's not a fun way to go.
Nah.
And Jeff Bezos,
glorious way.
Rich prick.
Yeah.
On to our question to the listener. We asked you, dear listeners, what was your opinion on physical media, purchasing physical media, be it Blu-rays or vinyls, etc. And also about, you know, collector items like Criterion Collection. What's your thoughts on premium products and stuff like that? A few of these got back to us. Got some boiling hot takes.
Some absolutely piping yokes. Molten takes here. First one's coming in from Liam, and he's saying, physical media forever. Criterion feels like vinyl in a weird way. What do you think about that?
Oh, you know me, I love me Blu-rays.
Love his blueies.
Love me blueies. Yeah, no, I like buying Blu-rays, you know, especially because, like, you know, for the weird shit, like, you know, the Devils. Like, the Devils is my favorite thing that I think that I own, because it's a cut of the film that we haven't seen.
Yeah,
it includes stuff that wasn't, you know, in the one that we watched online.
Oh, you've Decalogue as well.
Yeah, I got Decalogue purely because I wanted to. Because I'm like, I want to watch this, and like, I hate using, you know, like illegal streaming sites for like TV shows, just because I'm like, I'm like committing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mind like a film, but like there's something about like in Decalogue, you know, I want to watch Decalogue.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Blu-rays, I wouldn't be mad into the old collector stuff.
Fair.
Vinyls, I like vinyls. There's something about.
What's the thing about because I feel like I buy Blu-rays, but I feel like it's a different thing if you buy or vinyls, because you really have to take care of vinyls.
Yeah, you just kind of Well, they kind of take care of themselves, you know, unless you're playing them every day, like. But they just have like a warmer feeling. But you need like a good system. It's like Blu-ray. Like you can't have your Blu-ray on like a laptop screen or whatever. Yeah. It's like it's pointless. You just wasted money. It's like vinyl, you need a good speaker. It's all about the the hardware that you have. But yeah, vinyl's pretty easy to take care of. And like there's all I don't know if they have them for Blu-rays, but like vinyls you have like collector stuff, like from like original prints and stuff. Like there's like websites you can sell stuff on. My mom has a mad collection of vinyls, and some of them are worth like quite a bit these days, you know.
It's mental.
Because they'd be very old, you know, 60s, 70s kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. But vinyls, I say Blu-rays would sort of move in the same direction. Yeah. Later on, as things progress, or maybe as like once they've fallen out of fashion or something like that. Yeah, out of vogue. Yeah. People will be like, I want a Blu-ray in like 2050 or something, or 2040. Yeah,
because like the Criterion as well, like, because I like my Criterions. They're nice. They're like, they feel premium, you know. And they have unreal special features and stuff like that. But the other thing though is like Arrow Blu-rays are great. They maybe have even better special features.
What?
And more, and they're cheaper.
What Blu-rays?
Arrow.
What's Arrow?
Yeah.
And like. Yeah, but they're not blue.
Yeah, they're not blue, but they do, and they don't have like, you know, like the spine and stuff like that. But they do a nice thing where like they have, you open it up, and on the other side is an alternative cover or the original cover.
That is good. That's a good idea.
And they have a bunch of special features. Like I'm holding the thing at the moment, so I'll just look at some of the special features for this. That's all the special features there. I was gonna read them out, but that's like a fucking that's a paragraph.
You can't read that out. That's a novel.
That's way too many. And like Arrow are way cheaper.
Oh really?
And and they look good as well. But Criterion is just like that premium product, you know. And they get weird shit, or at least they used to do weird shit that like you couldn't get anymore. Stuff that would be out of print. But like the Eraserhead one, I haven't watched any of my Blu-rays except for Eraserhead really. And you know, for me, I want to buy films that that I'll rewatch, like at some point, like The Thing. Like when I first watched The Thing, I thought it was okay. Same thing as RoboCop, but I feel like I need to like sit down and like watch it. You know what I mean? And that's what I do if I'm not gonna Blu-ray. Like I'm sitting down to watch it. I own this thing. I better make fucking use of it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, like vinyls cost like 20 quid as well. It's like. That's a lot for an album, you know. Sometimes it costs more than that. Ridiculous.
Cartoons are ridiculous.
Yeah, so like you're like you appreciate it more. I don't know if that's like a bad thing. It's like, I spent my tokens on this. I spent I
worked 4 hours for this fucking thing.
Yeah. I spend an excessive amount on this. I need to appreciate it. But there's something about it still, you know. Like there's something to be said about physical media, like having it like
and owning it.
In a physical form, owning it, you know. That's just like, you know, it's there. It's like rented on your computer. It's just like like in the fucking ether somewhere, you know.
It's just like decay. Like, you know, sometimes Netflix like, I want to watch that, but then you're almost like put under pressure because like, what if Netflix take this off at some point? Like, you know, whenever I want to watch The Thing, I have The Thing. You know, I don't have to stress about where it is.
Yeah, that used to be on Netflix. Took it off.
Yeah,
it's like bastards.
Exactly.
It's scumbags.
And you know, you get that. You know, you don't have to deal with. You know, malware and stuff like that from illegal websites.
Yeah, man, my computer is on its last legs from malware. Like,
that's my laptop fucked, completely fucked.
Like like I opened up Microsoft Word there the other day, and I have a thermometer.
This is like words being typed by themselves. Like it's like I'm watching you.
Let me die. It begged to be put out of its misery. But like I had a thermometer. I just stuck it onto the keyboard, and it was like 42 degrees. It was boiling hot.
Yeah, man.
I didn't even type anything. I just opened up Microsoft Word. There's nothing else open. Like I have to get rid of it, but it's all from like just downloading random stuff, like and not looking at what's. Because I have the whole McAfee shite and stuff. That's the thing with the internet, you know.
You know he's dead.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he killed himself.
Yeah,
quote unquote.
Or he got murdered.
He probably did, but That's the thing with the internet. You can't trust it. You know. But in the future, all things will be completely free. And the Netflix of the future will have every film. And it'll all be in Blu-ray quality.
Eventually.
And it'll also be in, like, you know, stored in massive hard drives, decentralized in the various neighborhoods. They'll be like community pools, but filled with movies and stuff like that.
Content. Endless content.
Content farms.
Mm.
But there's no way to remove it, you know, because it's everywhere. It's part of the community. In every community.
All the people, all the time. All
Yeah.
the media.
All the media, yeah.
You know, in a similar vein to, you know, Adam's response as well, which was, you know, in an age of piracy, why bother?
That's pretty fucking edgy, man. That's true.
Whoa, bro.
Whoa. That's true, but it's harder to pirate things these days. Because they keep shutting them down.
Man,
Because the feds keep cracking down.
I fucking hate those websites. Like, I always get mad paro when I open up one of those websites. I'm like, oh, this is it. This is when I'm gonna fucking get some fucking malware and my computer is gonna be fucked.
That's the thing. They didn't used to be that bad. Like, they did, but like there was some that you could trust. Like, Pirate Bay used to be really, like, there were certain people like Yiffy and stuff like that. Very good. Like, decent quality films, or like decent quality videos, like downloads. They'd be like 1080p. You had like an option 720, 1080, all that stuff. I used to back when what was it, like 2014, 2015. I used to just pretty much everything I watched was off Pirate Bay. Just download off that. Nothing ever happened. Like, my computer was fine for ages. But then they shut that one down. Like, they shut all of them down. It's like fucking whack-a-mole. They like they're still Pirate Bay is still up, but like I'm not hip anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like all proxy sites and stuff like that.
Yeah,
now.
I don't know which one is the right one. You know, I suppose you can find it if you really look, but like that's a whole other thing. And then I'm absolutely certain that the people that are after these kinds of websites deliberately put up malware to you know make to discourage consumers from going there, because it's like such an easy way to, because you can get like private feeds and stuff like that, private trackers, where it's just like a few people in like a mega upload or whatever, one of those like little file sharing folders, where it's just loads of movies, but it's like a invite only kind of thing. So it's just like, but the movies are completely like clean because it's verified by everyone else in the thing. But you need an invite to all that stuff. You need to be like in the communities.
Yeah,
it's a lot of effort as well, you know. It's like,
yeah, you have to talk to people.
Yeah, but
let me out. Let me in. I'm an outsider. I'm just a weirdo who wants to watch this weird movie.
Yeah, in the future, you go into Pirate Bay, just download whatever movie you want, and there'll be no worries, because most people out there don't want to disseminate malware. You know.
Yeah.
They just don't care.
Yeah. Why the fuck you care? Like, why? I'm not special. I don't have any special information. Like.
yeah. Hacking my computer. Like.
You know, it's annoying, and I don't like using the sites because of that. But it's also the reason why Mubi is maybe my most used streaming site now, because I got a VPN.
Yeah, the VPNs. How are they legal? Like?
But then I you know, I don't own it. You know, it's the same thing. Like, that's the best thing about, you know, actually owning it. You know, it can never be taken away. Same thing with Mubi as Netflix, except Mubi's way more pressure. It's like, this is leaving in 14 days. This is leaving in 13 days. Like, at least, fuck, I gotta watch this.
At least they tell you, like.
Yeah, at least they do tell you.
Netflix is like,
Now TV was the worst for that, man. Nearly 3 episodes left of season 3 of True Detective, and Now TV just removed it.
Bollocks. Load of bollocks.
Oh man, heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's so sad. Well, that's kind of the best way to leave it.
Yeah.
Though. You know,
but then it came back. Then it came back, and then I watched it, and I was like, well.
Yeah.
Well, you know, what can you do?
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, the VPN is crazy.
Yeah, how's that work?
I don't understand how that's legal.
I don't get that at all. Like why would they not crack down on that? Like the EU, I don't understand being like, oh, the common market and stuff like that. Like, you should be allowed to like access the internet from different countries and stuff. But like, how is it legal in every country? It seems to be legal everywhere.
No idea.
It doesn't make any sense.
To Canadian Netflix.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, I used to do that with the PS3, going to the DNS.
Yeah, DNS code.
Input the old Canadian DNS codes, and then they proper cracked down on it. Like I'm pretty sure they got rid of that.
I think that's impossible now.
Yeah, you can't do it now.
Yeah, or I think you can do it, but like it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they proper cracked down on it. So what's the difference between that and a VPN? Like,
I have no idea.
There's no difference.
Because you're paying for the VPN.
Yeah, but like they don't own the VPN companies, or do they?
They do.
Maybe
it's all tech companies, you know.
CIA, man. CIA.
I don't know who the fuck owns ExpressVPN.
Just probably look that up, yeah. Do a bit of research.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
I just funded him going to the fucking moon.
Yeah, it's just Jeffrey Epstein, CEO. Like,
Will we leave it at that?
we'll leave it there. Our
Apologies for the short one, boys, but you know,
short one. That's all they wanted.
listen, it happens.
It happens. You know, these things happen. It's completely normal.
It was either that or scrap the episode. And we're not missing a week. We're nearly there.
We refuse to miss a week.
One more month and a full year. Then we can miss episodes all the fucking time.
Yeah. 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 So next week we're gonna be watching The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, by Andrew Dominic.
Looking forward to
2007 film. It's gonna be great. 2.5 hours long. It's very long, but give it a watch anyway.
It'll be enjoyable.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. So yeah, that's episode 49. We'll see you then. Anyway.
See you all then. Bye.
Goodbye.